Barbados, we must never allow present circumstances to define our future. In the past, we were known for our strong and decisive leadership, our social, economic, and political stability, and our well-educated and productive workforce. Who we become will depend on the vision and the focus we have. These series of videos will challenge us as a people to dig deep within and find our purpose. We are Refocusing Barbados.
Hello, this is Refocusing Barbados once again, and I am Mark. The last episode we discussed hunger, and today we want to look at education. And there are some questions that have been on my mind concerning education. And the first question is, how are we preparing our students? I am an employer, and what I have seen over the last 10-15 years as an employer is that the majority of our young people leaving school have a deficiency as far as thinking is concerned. And what is even more alarming is the area of critical thinking. How are we preparing our students? Can we afford to prepare our students not to think? And I know of teachers who are pulling up their hair literally because they're unable to get their students to think. And from what I've gathered, it seems to be a national problem. Even at the level of BCC, community college, I have been told that teachers there are having the same problem. Our people aren't thinking. And this was replicated last year, and it was very, very glaring last year in our general election. If we cannot think logically, if we cannot think before we make decisions that are critical to our future as a people, this is annoying. This is annoying. And one thing that people must understand is that the politicians' first approach is always this. No, don't do any thinking. Leave the thinking to me, but do as I say. You understand what it said? The politician says to us, abandon your mind. Forget about it. Let me do the thinking. Just do as I tell you. That's what happened in 2013. And you see what the consequences are for abandoning your mind. It happened again in the 1990s. And I thought that would have been a lesson to us. But it seems as though our education system is so out of sync with us as a country that it is not providing us with the ability to think. And the other thing that I want to look at is this. What is the end product? When we educate our students, what is it that we are looking for? What is the end product? Or what is the brand? The Japanese their Japanese brand is total quality. The German brand is efficiency. The Jewish brand, the Israeli brand is creativity and resilience. Do we have a brand? Is our education system framed in such a way that it produces a product that will serve brothers for another 50, 100 years or more? I don't see it because they can't recognize it. So you see in the Japanese society, the way they educate their children is that they have to provide total quality. So as a part of their culture, a part of their psyche, the Germans, look at the German football team. It is not spectacular, but it's efficient. Because that is a part of them, it's a part of their culture to be efficient. And the Jewish nation, they're always creative and resilient. You hit them today and they're back tomorrow and they're going to hit at you again and again. They keep coming at you. A resilient people. And when I look at all of this and I start to consider what is happening at UWI, it causes me to have a lot of concern. Because in effect, what Chris Sinclair is doing is defunding UWI. Can we afford to defund UWI in 2014? And then there are people in society who are blaming students who go to UWI and waste a lot of time. That's a non-issue. The system will take care of those people, those students who go to UWI and waste time. If they have an employer like me, they come to me and ask, let me see your resume. I want to see it. Why did it take 6 and 7 years to finish your first degree? And there's always a correlation between the amount of time it takes to finish a degree, right, and your grades. I want to see some transcripts. And it will be in the transcripts. The problem will be there. So the system will take care of them because they will say to them, no, you're a procrastinator. If I employ you, you will come here with that attitude and you will bring it into my business. So the system will take care of those. But don't punish everybody for those people who play the fool at UWI. We cannot afford to defund UWI. UWI must be fully funded. And I don't understand we are here again. We were there in the 1990s under Sandiford, and now under Chris Sickness short. We are here again. That is nonsense. And after 300 years of slavery, you would think that any person who sits in the post, who occupies the post of Prime Minister and Minister of Finance and Economic Affairs, they will understand the context of the faith in which they operate. They have to operate within that context that after 300 years of slavery, Barbadians haven't yet alleviated or extricated themselves from the last vestiges of slavery. And if our education system can't do it for us, how are we going to get out of it? Because black people are the majority property owning, business owning class in this country. And you have a population where it is massively majority black. And yet still blacks are considered consumers. And we can have a Minister of Finance who says to us, we are going to defund UWI. We can't afford it because the negative economic impact of that decision will be felt about 20 years from now. Can we afford to defund it to the detriment of our society? We need, as a people, to be producing university-level students in our society. And what is going to happen to all those people who are being laid off, who have students, who have children at university? You know what's going to happen? They can't afford it. Children have to leave university. And we are going in the wrong direction with this thing. It is a problem that we cannot afford to have. And as I sit down and I listen to a lot of the argument, I say to myself, are these people serious? Are we really serious about our country? What we ought to be doing with UWI is to be doubling down on our efforts. And we need to hold hands with Secretary Beckles. And the question we should be asking, how can we improve UWI? What can we do as a people to improve UWI and what it offers this country and the wider Caribbean? It is impossible for a lot of poor people in this country to send their children overseas to study. They don't have what it takes, and it takes a lot of money. So any government in this country or in the Caribbean should understand that they need to fund UWI and make sure UWI is taken care of, right? And if we defund UWI, what we are saying is that UWI is inimical to our interests, and it can't be. And that's a conversation that we need to have. We need to look at our education system. We need to look at UWI, and we need to say to the government, no, you can't do this. It is wrong. It is good. It is self-defeating. Again, I'm asking you to really join us in this conversation because this is probably the most critical issue facing the country. It has a lot of serious economic implications for the future. And we want you to really come in on this one and give us your opinion. Because in refocusing Barbados, we cannot refocus Barbados without looking at education. Our greatest resource is our people. So we have to educate our people and prepare them not for only the 21st century, but for the 22nd century if the law carries. And we should be looking at how we can prepare a group of people who are ready to go there and to change Barbados. Because the thing about it is this, right? Barbados is part of a small global world. We have to embrace technology, not defund UE. We have to expand UE, not defund it. We cannot afford this, and we have to send the message out clearly. We cannot afford to defund UE. UE must be fully funded. Thank you very much.